Hello, this is Felicia. Today we are looking at where you were financially as a small to medium sized business prior to the disease being a pandemic, COVID 19, that is. So, where were you financially as a business? And in order to look at that and determine it, you would have to go through the same process as if you were looking at your personal finances. So, from the business perspective, I need you to take a look or list all those assets that you had, all of the liabilities. I need you to go into your income and your expenses. So, let's take each item individually. So, when it comes to your assets, what assets did your business have? Did you have your own building as a business? Did you have a truck? If you're a taxi service, maybe your cars were owned, so those would be termed assets. So list all of the assets that you had in the business and then get into your liabilities. What are the or what were the liabilities that you had prior to the pandemic? Did you have a mortgage for your business, a business loan, a small to medium sized loan for your business? What are all the liabilities that you had? And I want you to break it into two sections. Those things that the full amounts that you owed prior to, and also the monthly or weekly commitments. So if you had a mortgage, what mortgage payments you were expected to make on a monthly basis. If you had a fleet of cars for your taxi business, then what notes did you have on those cars and what were the associated payments that you had to make. So list all of your total liability and your commitment per period. Then I want you to get into all of the expenses. So, what are the expenses that your business incurs on a weekly or monthly basis, whichever uh, you can accomplish easily? So, you list all of those expenses. So, salaries that you have to pay on a weekly or monthly basis, get into utilities that the business has to pay, even business license fees on an annual basis. List those and just put next to them whether they're weekly, whether they're monthly, whether they're annually. And then let's get into revenues. So, your income, your business income. Uh, how much income did you pull in on a weekly basis or monthly basis? And this relates to whatever services or product sales that you had for like a month. How much of each category, or give an estimation of the income that you had. Now, what we're going to do is determine what your financial position was prior to the pandemic and also what your budget was prior to. So, with that information, you can then determine what your budget was and also what your commitments are and also what your entire financial position is. So if you can go ahead and do that for us, and the next video will combine personal and business related budgeting and also your financial position. Okay. So this is very important, guys, because if we're going to figure out how we deal with whatever assistance may come our way, we hear the US speaking about $2 trillion worth of bailout for businesses and the average man or woman. So if we're hearing these things, and if you're sitting in the US, then you may be excited to tap into this resource. But if you don't know where you were, it's similar to a doctor's visit. So if the doctor can't figure out where you were medically and where you stand, then the doctor isn't able to effectively treat you for the next steps. And financially, we want to figure out where we were. We want to figure out where we are currently, and so that we can plan ahead and figure out the best way to get us out of this mess and at least keep us on the right track to success. So I invite you to join us for our next video. I invite you to complete your homework, listing all of your assets, your liabilities, your expenses, and your income. See you soon, and thank you very much for listening.